You know, just asked a really good question, you know. How do I choose a tactic on what I'm going to do in a tournament? And a lot of it is just experience, and that's one of the reasons why, you know, I have to practice fish faster than a lot of guys. Because I don't have the experience. I don't know. There's certain things that I don't have experience fishing. There's certain techniques I'm not very experienced at or good. There's certain times of the year that I'm not that experienced. I've only been doing this about 4 or 5 years. And I don't have anyone to help me. I mean, my parents aren't fishermen. None of my family does it. I don't have any family here. It's just all of what I've learned and studied and from people I've fished with and the bass clubs and stuff. And, it's seasonal patterns and just fishing as fast as you can and trying to interpret as much as you can. But one thing I can tell you is when it comes to a tournament and practice, that's when, like I said, fishing stuff you normally wouldn't fish, techniques, lures, maybe not lures, because you need to have confident lures. Because if you're fishing fast and you're not confident in what you're using that much, you're hurting your confidence for the tournament tremendously. So fish with confidence lures and practice as much as you can. I don't have a lot of confidence. That's one of the things I'm having. I don't have much confidence in a swim jig, but it just seems right. And you know, sometimes when you get that, you just got to go with it. But a lot of times, that's why it's good to fish a lot of stuff in practice and fish different stuff, because in the tournament, it doesn't need to be much experimentation. Come tournament time, I'm telling you right now, it needs to be efficiency, proficiency. You need to be pro. You at least need to seem like it. And you need to know what you need to fish, know what you don't need to fish, especially in a even in a multi-day tournament or a one-day tournament. You need to know what not to fish and what not to fish. You know, in the multi-day tournaments, you can kind of scrounge around and catch fish doing a lot of different things. But in a one-day tournament, you need to go to your best spot first, catch the biggest fish you can first, and go from there. You don't need to waste no time. Burn them up. Burn them up. Go to all your good spots, fish them thoroughly, fish them the way you want to. In multi-day tournaments, you need to save some. And I've kind of had enough doing what I'm doing here, so we're going to move around. Hey guys, so we moved right across the river, and we're going to try and fish bank grass going into coves now. That kind of stuff right there, main river bar. Didn't have much success, and a lot of this stuff looks really good. It looks like it's going to hold fish. But I don't know if I can get bites right now or not in the morning. Sometimes certain patterns are just better in the afternoon, and something like this, surprisingly, even though it's shallow fishing, can be just as good, if not better, in the late afternoon or late morning, early afternoon. Because what happens is these shallow fish, they either got to get by a piece of cover to get a meal. So they'll get inside this grass, especially a lot of this has got good water on it. They'll get in here and they'll just ambush food, and that might be the real time to fish this stuff. But that's what practice is all about. You know, trying stuff at different times of day, trying different patterns, different techniques. So come tournament time, you know what not to do. It's honestly as much about eliminating water that you shouldn't fish as it is about catching fish. And that's one of the things a lot of people don't understand. When I take them fishing with me and I'm actually practicing for a tournament, you know, you're not going to see a lot of fish catching. You're not going to see me hooking a lot of fish. I'll shake fish off. That's what it's all about, though. So a lot of this stuff looks really good. I'm probably going to fish it later in the afternoon. And if I get a bite doing it, we're 3 weeks away from the tournament, so I may experiment with some different techniques. But I'm not going to try and catch too many. It's late in the summer. A lot of these fish might be resident fish, so you don't want to hook too many of them. You don't want to get too many of them too smart. These resident fish will stay at shallow all until fall. Then they'll get out and chase bait. So we're experimenting a little bit, and it teaches me something. You know, we can go on the main lake and fish stuff for spotted bass. I've got a couple spots that I know produce and hold fish. But we're going to try this, and you know, I mean, if I can get some good bites doing this, I could blow this thing away. Fishing shallow grass like this for these largemouth is just going to outweigh those spots, and I'm going to have a chance to really blow it out the park. I mean, it's just a small club tournament, so it's not going to take a lot of weight to do well. That's good. All right, so we got done fishing this whole cove. We fished a lot of thick grass, sparse stuff. There was some seawalls. We fished around a few docks, but we're still fishing moving baits and stuff like that. But now we're going to switch up a little bit. We're going to go to a place that I feel holds some fish. It's a good cove right down here. We're going to try it. And if we don't get any bites, then I'm going to have to make a decision whether I'm going to change tactics or I'm going to change locations. I'm going to have to make a decision, you know. I don't need to find a whole bunch of stuff today, but I want to get an idea of what's good and what's not. Eliminating water is just as good as finding water.